Colored content exclusive.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Tony Clomax, the creator of the web series 12 Steps to Recovery.
Yes.
Okay, so I have some questions for you.
Awesome.
Tell us more about the web series. For anyone who didn't watch, who's living under a rock, who hasn't watched it yet.
Right. Well, I started the, believe it or not, I started the web series back in 2010. And we shot pretty much 2 seasons all the way to 2012. So what people are seeing, it's 3-4 years old, but and
Still
even
relevant.
yeah,
People
and
want them Barack Obamas and Michelle Obamas and Tyler Perry's, and you'll see when you watch it.
and I mean, I set out, when I decided to make it, I did it as a calling card. I wanted to get myself out there as an artist, as a filmmaker, as a writer, and so one of the things that was important to me was to shoot it cinematically. Even though it was a web TV show, I wanted it to look like film, and that's when the 7D and 5D just come out and stuff. So we shot the series with both of those cameras. And like you said, even today, like the stuff that I talked about and the way it looks, it still holds up. And I would have thought that like web series, would have raised the bar by now. I'm sorry to say that a lot of web series haven't, but then there are those that have.
There are. I mean, knowing what I know, and I interview a lot of people, it's not always about the visual. I love visual. I'm a artist at heart. But some people are like, you can shoot something on your iPhone and it can be as great as something that's filmed on a great camera.
Well, but the thing is this, the person that's shooting it on an iPhone still need to know cinematography. And that's the thing. Like, listen, I'm not trying to keep people from picking up a camera and going out and be adventurous and get their stories told, but there's nothing stopping you from elevating your craft, studying. If people say, well, I don't want to spend money to go to film school, okay, that's fine. YouTube, there's so many, to this day, like I watch YouTube every day to learn something. I look at it to learn about filming, I look at it to learn about lighting, I look at it to learn about editing or writing or whatever, and so there's no reason for you not to learn before going out and trying to tell a story. You want to empower yourself with as many tools as possible. But if you're at that point where you think, well, there's nothing that you can learn, and I've had people say, well, it doesn't matter the way it looks. The writing is so dope, it doesn't matter the way it looks. Yeah, it does. It matters how it looks. Your actors matter. You want to have strong actors. You want to have strong writing, and the only way, to become a stronger writer, stronger cinematographer, you got to practice. You got to study, and that's it.
So could you just summarize the series and
Okay.
tell people what it's about?
All right. Well, 12 Steps to Recovery is about a struggling jingle writer and jingle writer actor who gets dumped by his corporate girlfriend, and then he goes into the dumps, and his 2 best friends decide to set him up on 12 blind dates to help heal his heart and get him back in the game. One friend just wants to get him laid, and the other friend has a hidden agenda. And so you gotta watch the show to know what that friend's hidden agenda is.
You'll find out. You'll find it funny. So totally watch it for that too. What messages did you try to portray through the series? Like, what were some of the big messages that you wanted people to get from it? Aside from comedy, it's a great rom-com.
Well, I mean, you know what? Regardless of your race, your culture, sexual orientation, socioeconomic background, everybody has had their heart broken. Everybody wants love. So this is a story about someone who, has to deal with this hurtful, breakup, and how you get over that. And this, it's all about having a good time as well, and I think it's a hilarious, a hilarious thing. But yeah, it's a message that crosses all boundaries and stuff, and we all want love, and we all have had our heart broken. So this is something that says, hey, this is how you get over that.
I think you touch on so many topics in a comedic way in the show, so it is relatable, and people can say, wow, that's me, hey, this is me, and they can kind of understand where you're coming from with the show. Being one of the questions that I ask everyone who I do an interview with is, how has digital media changed being a media being a media maker of color? How has it changed the whole landscape for you?
Well, I'll say this. One, I mean, I can look at myself like, oh yeah, I'm a filmmaker of color and stuff like that. But you know what? I'm a filmmaker. All right, I'm a filmmaker, and I happen to be black. I happen to be a male. I happen to be from Chicago. Like, there are a lot of things that I pull from to tell my stories, and then also tell other people's stories. So, but the main thing, regardless of all of that, is the digital media and the web space gives you an opportunity to tell the stories that aren't being told in traditional TV or in film and stuff like that. So it makes it affordable. It gives you a platform. But even though it's affordable, it gives you a platform and all this. Again, it doesn't mean you diminish the quality of filmmaking. And I'm going to always say that,
You're serious about that.
Do not, listen, I mean, I went to school. I went to film school, and I take it serious. This is not a hobby. This is not something I do on the weekends. I make my livelihood this. And if people are serious about this and they want to make a living doing it, they want to win awards, they want to build an audience, a fan base that's going to follow them no matter what, you got to up your game. You got to invest in yourself, and you got to surround yourself with people who are going to elevate you, and so getting cousin Eddie to work the camera, and that's ridiculous. Save up your money, because let me tell you something, and I'll go on camera saying this. Look, right before I started shooting 12 Steps, I was on unemployment, and President Obama extended the benefits. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, I wasn't even expecting to have this, so guess what? I'm gonna act like I don't even have it. And I just saved up all my weeks. It was to say 8 weeks. I had 8 weeks remaining, and I just saved up that money, and then I used that money to start shooting my series. And I paid my crew and stuff. I made sure our actors had the best makeup artists and got the best food. I had actors who had just come off shooting, SUV. I'm sorry, SVU, and they're like, man, we didn't even eat like this on that show. And it's like, actors, they appreciate that. So there's no reason why you shouldn't surround yourself with talented actors and a talented crew. You just you pay them and you take care of them, and that's it. You're gonna get the best. But if you're just trying to cut corners, then hey, you're gonna get what you pay for.
Okay.
All right.
So what tips? I mean, you touched on a whole bunch. Watch YouTube. Really invest. What tips can you provide people who are trying to get into?
There's a website called nofilmschool.com. You can go to that. There's articles. There are links. There are videos on how to make film, how to edit, how to shoot, how to direct. Then you'll have the professionals talking, or who they're in the articles and stuff. You have to become a student, and hell, we all should be students of life. There's no reason why we should learn something every day. So if your craft is filmmaking, if your craft is cooking, if you want to be the best auto mechanic, whatever, you need to study. You need to see what new techniques are out there to make yourself stand apart from the crowd. And again, that's how you build your fan base. That's how you build your customer base. People are going to be loyal to you when they know that you're truly investing in yourself and into your craft and into the people that are partaking in your craft.
I mean, I think that's important. When people feel you're invested, then they're willing
Yes.
to invest, because it's so hard
Yes,
to
yes.
make it happen, and you have a dream, and
Exactly.
you do it. So, last question.
All right.
Anything else you're working on, you want to plug, you want to talk about before we sign off?
All right. Well, right now I have an action film that's doing the festival circuit, Broken Angels. And in Broken Angels, it's a mob associate who gets marked by death by this mob capo, and he enlists the help of his MMA war buddy friend, and they meet the threat head on. So it's a throwback to the films of the 70s.
So black exploitation,
Like
kinda?
black exploitation, crime drama, and there's a lot of fighting in it, a lot of action. There are funny moments. So we've been in about 5-6 festivals right now. 2 of them we actually won.
Congrats.
And yeah, thank you. So we got that going on. I just completed writing this pilot. It's called Unseen Truths. It's like a combination of Homeland and American Crime, and we have some heavy hitter actors reading the script right now, and that's something that I'm going to be filming out in LA. I'm also shooting, directing a short this fall called Iris, and it's about a woman of color. She's an artist, and she after a traumatic breakup, she spirals out of control into mental illness, and so it's a snapshot on mental illness as well as how we deal with it as a society. And what else? Oh, and Broken Angels is being developed into a feature film. I met some really good producers out in LA who just like, look, we got to make this into a feature film. And what else? Oh, and I'm directing 2 other pilots this fall. Actually, I don't know if you ever heard of Platinos and Collard Greens, the play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be directing their web TV pilot.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I've been working with them. And yeah, so that's what I got going on right now.
That's a lot.
Oh, I
guys.
forgot.
Okay, one more thing.
And 2 things. And
Okay.
I'm wrapping. I just wrapped post-production on the Latina breast cancer survivor documentary. I spent the last year working on that. I was hired to do that. So it's a great piece that that's going to save some lives. We got a Spanish version and an English version. And then finally, there's a short, You Only Live Twice documentary that I directed, and I'm wrapping up post-production on right now. So that's what I got going on.
That's a lot. Like I was saying, that's a lot. Congrats on everything.
Thank you.
So thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for coming out and
All right.
chatting with me.
Thank you for
Bye,
having me.
everybody.
Adios.